So in case I forgot to do an intro today, I just felt like doing my makeup the way I used to. It's not dramatically different from what I do now. He's away crying. So I'm just gonna get right into it. I used to do my entire face, then my eyebrows, and then my eyes last. I know that sounds maybe a little silly, but that's just how I did it, so that's what I'm gonna do today. I'm not using products that I used in the past just because a lot of them I don't have anymore, but I'm gonna use things that have a similar effect. So for foundation, I'm just using the CoverGirl True Blend Matte Made, just because I got this recently and I haven't used it as much as I would have liked to really see if I like it. And I didn't prime because I used to not prime. And I was always an oily mess because of that, but you know, trying to stay true to how I used to do things. So scratch that. That's not enough coverage for how I used to wear makeup. I am going to use a foundation I used to use all the time, and it is the Becca Ultimate Coverage Complexion Cream. And I have it in the shade Shell. There's quite a shade difference. Shell is definitely more olive, which suits me. See how perfectly that matches with my neck, and this is like a little weird. In case you can't tell, maybe you're using a very small screen, I'm wearing a wig. I don't know, I feel like wigs don't look great on me because I have a very small head and they have way too much hair, in my opinion, like way too much. I know some people like that look, but they should start at lower volumes of hair. Like, this is the lowest amount I was able to choose from. So I just haven't gotten around to thinning it out, but I'm once again going through the whole I want to go back to black phase. But I'm so close to having the pink washed out and going to the green I really want that I'm like, please don't go back to black. Just wear the wig for now. So you might see the wig a lot, you might not. Now I'm going in with a little bit of color corrector for under my eyes. And I used to mainly just put it on the inner corner because that was my main concern. Just makes such a gigantic difference. Okay, for concealer, I'm using the e.l.f. 16 Hour Camo Concealer. This one is in the shade Light Peach. I don't think this is light enough compared to how I used to wear my makeup. Not saying it's not light enough for my skin, but I used to really like a highlighted under eye. So we'll see how this goes. I also just brought that concealer right to my lids because I have super veiny lids and I didn't typically use primer that much. Yeah, it's covered, but it's not highlighted really, which is what I would have been going for back in the day, so I'll have to correct that with powders. I also highlighted my forehead and right between my eyes because I really hate how deep set my eyes are, and they're not even that deep set. It's just my nose is super sharp in that area and I like it to look very bright and open. I still like that look, but I don't often highlight my forehead. Even if I don't have bangs, I typically avoid doing much to my forehead at all, honestly. Now is when I would go in with contour. I do similar things to what I used to do, but I was a little more heavy-handed. I always made my nose a little more buttony, and I always did my cheeks, but I did bring it a lot farther. I brought it more into the center of my face than I do now. So I used to contour my nose a little heavier. Let me know if you would want to see like a side-by-side comparison of what I did then versus what I would do now. I thought about it, but here we are. Okay, so now it's time to set, so I'm just going to first spray my face. I'm using the NYX Bear With Me spray. This is before MAC started testing on animals. I would use Fix Plus often, and I would use a fake version of Fix Plus too. So now it is time to bake, which I used to do a little bit of, not a ton. I'm using the Morphe brightening powder just to really get that brightness under my eyes. Okay, so while that sits, then I would go in with just a regular fluffy brush and lightly put some powder on. Same powder. I didn't keep it too long on the rest of my face. So I'm using my Fenty Inda Sun bronzer. I've always been pretty light-handed with bronzers, so I'm just going in with this angled brush. And now for blush, I was super into warm tones. I still am, but I do prefer more like mauve-y tones on myself. But I'm going in with, I think this is Summer Bliss. I'm going in with Smitten from Makeup Geek, which is a very peachy blush. And so this, I actually used to do it more kind of on the tops of my cheekbones. I didn't bring it in really to the apple because again, I was trying to keep that super sculpted look. Might be hard to tell on camera. Okay, so now I would go on to my eyebrows, and I just used an eyeshadow depending on what my hair color was. So today I'm going in with a dark shade. Honestly, just going in with black. And my brows were very straight, which I'm kind of getting back into. If you can't tell, half my eyebrows are gone. So I kind of just pull it out. That's pretty much it. I loved a super strong brow. Still do, kind of. Okay, so now moving on to the eyeshadow. I typically did a smoky eye and it was very warm for the most part, but it wasn't as blown out as I do now. So I used a little bit smaller brushes, a little more refined. And I'm using the Anastasia Soft Glam palette. And I'm gonna go in with the shade Orange Soda. And I kept a very rounded shape on the outer corner. Now I'm going in with the shade Sienna. And now we're going in with Cypress Umber. I'm just going in with Tempera on the inner corners. Then I'm going in with a clean brush and just buffing the edge. And now, with the shade Cypress Umber and just a small dense brush, I'm going to pack that into my lower lash line, really smoking it out. Okay, I'm going to spray one more time. And now I'm going to use these lashes and some mascara. Alright guys, we're almost done. So now it's time for the lips, and my go-to for a while, why is it so warm? My go-to for a while was the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in pretty much every color. This is the shade Canis, I think. And I used any lip liner, so I'm just using the D Minor lip liner from Kat Von D. I always lined my lips the same, so. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the look. Every now and again I would put a gem on either side because I wanted dermals, and I did end up getting one later on in life, which I wish I still had. But yeah, this was my typical look, a very sharp contour, very warm tones on my face, strong brows, chiseled nose. Oh, something else I used to do, I would take the shade Tempera from Anastasia Beverly Hills and a small pencil brush and put that on the very tip of my nose. Because I didn't like a shimmery highlight, but I did need some highlight on my nose to kind of further define the contouring I did. So yeah, that's it for the look. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you'd be interested in me doing like a half and half full comparison type of video. Thanks guys. Have an amazing day.